Japanese fighter called Monk. He's better than Manny Pacquiao.
I would say he's the one fighter you must watch.
Normally, when someone has an intimidating name in the world of boxing, the picture that comes to your mind is almost scary. You hear the executioner, and your spine chills as you imagine a ruthless fighter taking out his opponent by the gut. You hear the atomic bull, and you shiver as the picture of a raging athlete crashing down on his opponent in the ring pops into your head. So, when we heard of this Japanese fighter with the name Monster, nothing prepared us for the cute face and slim body that graced our screens. Naoya Inoue is that person whose first appearance never gives the true extent of what they're capable of. However, it didn't take long to realize why he's called the Monster. With numerous world title fight wins to his credit, underrating this boxing legend would be part of the recognized 1,000 Ways to Die. So, how did this Japanese boxing sensation come into the limelight? For that, we'll go back in time to the 1900s when the man was still a boy. Born on April 10, 1993, Naoya Inoue seemed to be baptized into fighting from an early age. Anyone who knows Inoue's story would agree that true credit should be given to his father, Shingo Inoue, a fierce boxing trainer and a marathon runner. From his early childhood days, Inoue had his eyes on the ring. When he was in first grade, Inoue picked up a pair of gloves in his father's training room, and since then, he hasn't looked back. Even when his father tried to tell him how tough and dangerous the game was, Inoue looked him in the eye and said, "I can take it. Bring it on." Frankly, we can't blame him. I mean, it's like warning Batman that his next mission in Gotham City is dangerous. That's the point. So while most kids were learning to ride bikes and prank neighbors, Inoue started learning about how to take out an opponent in the ring. Together with his brother Takuma Inoue, he started as a pupil under his dad, learning to throw punches faster than you can say sushi roll. Inoue's prowess started when he was a teenager. At the age of 16, he won the Japanese Interscholastic Athletic Meeting and the Japanese Junior National Championships, entering the world of boxing in grand style. At age 16, you were probably still trying to get your mom to agree to a sleepover, so put some respect on Inoue's name, okay? By 17, he participated in the AIBA Youth World Championships, though he lost to Yosvani Vietia in the third round. Little did we know that he would later become one of the most celebrated fighters in the history of his country. Things started to pick up when he turned 19. Inoue turned pro and wasted no time making a name for himself. In his professional debut, Inoue delivered a blazing performance against Creason Umayao, knocking him down in the first round. In the fourth round, a powerful punch to the stomach sent Creason sprawling again, sealing Inoue's KO win at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. Now that's how you make an entrance. In January of 2013, Inoue faced his next opponent, Galprajan Chutawana, who was the celebrated national champion from Thailand. Well, Inoue did show him that things were different outside his country. With a powerful head jab in the first round, Inoue sent his opponent wobbling like spaghetti, forcing him to surrender to the knockout win. Clearly, this young Japanese weapon was no respecter of persons, both champions and amateurs alike. For his third fight, Inoue faced Yuki Sano. Now, this was a particularly interesting fight. Right from the first round, Inoue's punches quickly established who the boss was in the ring, landing an uppercut on his opponent's eye with a left hook. However, in the third round, he sent a straight punch to Sano's head, injuring his right fist in the process. Imagine your punch is so strong that it punches you right back. Due to the injury in his fist, Inoue could no longer punch with his right hand, and so was restricted to fighting with his left. But did that stop him? Nope. The one-handed man went on to knock down Sano in the fourth round with fiery left hooks, and eventually won by knockout in the 10th round. For us, it was at this point that his monster nickname began to make sense. Or how do you make sense of such a landslide win against a #1 ranked light flyweight boxer? Moving on to the world titles, Inoue's first title came that same 2013 when he snatched the light flyweight title from Ryoichi Taguchi. It was a spectacular win because, at the time, Taguchi had just one loss on his record with over 20 bouts of experience. So technically, Inoue was still several ranks below him. However, the 20-year-old Inoue asserted his growing dominance in the boxing world, delivering liver-ripping blows to the veteran's sides to weaken him. In the end, Inoue won by unanimous decision, claiming his first world title. This win made him the first Japanese to win the title with just 4 fights. Again, what a record! Shortly after this fight, Inoue moved up the weight ladder from light flyweight to super flyweight in 2014. He had his first fight in that category against WBO junior bantamweight title holder Omar Andres Narvaez. The announcement of the fight itself was shocking to many pundits. And seriously, we understand them. Choosing to fight a super flyweight king like Narvaez was like writing a letter to the god of death. But Inoue had already mastered how to take the world by storm at this stage. What he did to Narvaez wasn't just a defeat, it was an annihilation. From the opening round, the Japanese boxer kept the fight firmly one-sided, keeping Narvaez constantly on his side in pain as he landed punch after punch. In the second round, Inoue decided to put the fight to an end. A brutal left hook to the liver was all it took to send Narvaez onto the canvas, allowing the referee to count him out. This win crowned Inoue the 2014 Fighter of the Year. The cherry on top was that he accomplished this feat with 8 professional fights. At this point, we move a motion to get this man into the Boxing Hall of Fame. If you agree, let's see a show of hands in the comments section. From there, Naoya Inoue became unstoppable, with his status as the monster firmly established. He continued to win several fights that solidified his entry into the boxing elite club. One of those fights was against Jamie McDonnell in 2018. Inoue went on to battle Nonito Donaire in the World Boxing Super Series Bantamweight final in 2019. Their first bout was like watching 2 gladiators go at it in an arena. The fight was far from being a walk in the park, with Inoue leaving with a fractured orbital bone and a broken nose. But it was worth it as he eventually won by unanimous decision, and the fight was voted as the Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. However, fast forward to their rematch in 2022, and it was not business as usual. Believe me when I say the atmosphere was different. Inoue left us all gasping for air. I think he was displeased by the first fight performance and came for the rematch to prove his dominance. Inoue won by a knockout after his customary left hook sent Donaire off to the canvas, securing his WBC bantamweight title. In that same year, Naoya Inoue slugged it out with Paul Butler. This fight was for the undisputed bantamweight title. Don't worry, it's just a fancy way of saying all the belts were on the line. Inoue didn't just win, he made boxing history by becoming the first undisputed bantamweight champion in the 4-belt era. He stopped Butler with repeated body shots like he was playing whack-a-mole at an arcade. With this achievement, he became part of an elite club alongside legends like Terence Crawford and Alexander Usyk. In other words, the big boys. Inoue's 2023 is best remembered for his fight against Stephen Fulton. There was nothing much to see, just a regular boxer adding another knockout to his KO score. Inoue faced Fulton and showcased his skills once again, with a TKO victory that had fans on their feet. If you thought he was going to slow down, think again. This guy is like that Energizer Bunny, he just keeps going. With 28 wins under his belt, and 25 of those by knockout, Inoue has proven he is not just another boxer, but a force of nature. He has conquered multiple weight classes, becoming a 4-division world champion. So far, he holds titles in the light flyweight, junior bantamweight, and super bantamweight divisions. Really, if there was a boxing version of Monopoly, Inoue would have all the properties. In 2025, we can't wait to see who he faces next. Scratch that, watching the video to the end. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel to enjoy more similar content. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the impressive life and career of Naoya Inoue in the comments. Until next time, keep those gloves up.